So I got here a Citrus Surfer from Big Grove, another Big Grove beer.
They're pretty good. They're kind of like a Blue Moon, but like a little better in my opinion.
Exactly.
I don't have any oranges to go with, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay.
I do have a lemon.
That's quite all right. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
actually just, it does taste, it almost tastes like a better version of.
It's just like a little better of a Blue Moon. Yeah. It's one of my favorite summer beers, but summer is winding down.
As you can finally a little chilly out, which I kind of like.
Our first episode in sleeves, I think.
Yeah. What is it? Saturday and Sunday. It was like in the 80s.
Oh God, it was so fucking
And
hot.
now it's like probably what, 60 out? Nah, it's gotta be less than that, like 55.
We played volleyball Saturday morning and
58 degrees.
Yeah, we played volleyball at 10 a.m. Saturday morning, and it was the hottest game of volleyball we've played all year. It was like October 2nd or whatever. We're out there sweating our asses. We got in the lake. We got in the lake on October 2nd. It was so goddamn hot out, and we were sweating so bad.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, it's October. I'm like excited for it to get.
Yeah,
to be like
I'm
fall
ready
weather.
for the cool weather. Now I'm not ready for the cold weather.
No.
I would be fine skipping that.
And that's what I'm
but
worried about, is that it's going to skip.
It's just going to go straight to that.
Yeah.
I'm drinking currently grapefruit Leinenkugels because I'm addicted to them. They're so fucking good. I don't know why they taste so good to me. I was over at my friend's. We were just going to go drink on her rooftop. Like her apartment is a rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little convenience store like in their building. And we were like, well, fuck, we don't have beer. So we went down there. Very expensive, first of all. But
Sure. I feel like those type of things are always just like way too expensive.
Ungodly expensive for what it is. And I was like looking at like all the local ones, and they're like $30 for a 6-pack or a 4-pack. And I'm like, here's some like $18 Leinenkugels, which is not good. But I was like, that's a much better price. And I was like, oh, they got grapefruit. That kind of sounds good. And I got them, and they're amazing.
I haven't really had Leinenkugels in a while. I've been on my like, IPAs and just
That's
lagers and stuff like that. That's how what I've been on. But yeah, no, I've been drinking a little bit more like kind of wheat beers.
Yeah, I'm a
big
big
wheat
wheat beer fan.
I was at Dovetail on Friday.
I had a Dovetail at Prost on Saturday.
Yeah,
It was like a banana one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It actually might be the same one because it's like they called it a Festweizen.
Yeah, I think it was the same one.
Yeah,
It was like banana with a bready finish. Yeah.
It was just like light.
Yeah,
no,
it was very good.
Yeah, no, it was very good. I do like their like Hefeweizen a little bit better.
I saw that one on the menu and they were out of it. I tried to order that also. Yeah.
Yeah, but their Festweizen was very good. Dovetail does amazing job. I think literally the last video I posted on my beer channel was Dovetail. All right, well, spinning off into the
the
bi-week recap.
Bi-week recap. Yeah, this is Hawks Off Melrose. Couple housekeeping items before we get into the game itself. I realize I keep talking about our website and I've never once said what the website is or where to go. I've posted it on my socials if you've seen it there. But if you want to find our page for this podcast on the website is fishballsports.com/Hawks Off Melrose. There'll be a link in the description and in all of our social media. There'll be a link on there. So yeah, check us out there. That's where you can find the link dump. You can find links to our stuff, links to all the podcast socials, all that stuff. And all of our socials are just at Hawks Off Melrose everywhere we are. Yeah.
So I think the big thing out of the bye week, and everyone was kind of, we talked about last week, but everyone's kind of hoping for the best, which honestly probably better than we expected.
Better than the worst case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we're talking about Mark Gronowski.
Yes. And really the update is no update, which isn't shocking just based off of the way that Ferentz has handled injuries, especially to quarterbacks in the past.
Yeah.
Is when there's uncertainty in the air, he doesn't really show his cards. You don't know he never says who's going to start.
At least he said, which I'm pretty sure I read, that he said that he was cleared to play.
Yes.
So like, I'm kind of taking it as like pretty much Ferentz was saying like he's day to day.
Yeah.
So like that's a very good.
Yeah.
Because we thought that could be an ACL.
Yeah.
Right?
We thought and I don't think they've really even said what the injury is exactly.
No.
But haven't. The coordinators did their press conferences last week, and so obviously they were asked about him. They pretty much just said like it's an injury that is day to day, and it could be a while and it could not be a while, and it was just all a matter of this and that and doctors and everything.
Yeah.
Which sounded not super hopeful. But then, Ferentz came out this week and said, well, here, I've got his exact quote. He said he's gotten some work in. So far, so good. It's been encouraging. He said, a week ago, I was not so optimistic. Right now, we're working with all three of the guys, but he worked well. He worked well today. And all three of the guys brings us into our next point, Hank Brown and Jeremy Hecklinski, the third string quarterback previously, but he's listed as an or for with Hank Brown this week.
And pretty much,
depth chart.
Ferentz pretty much said like whoever looks the best on Friday.
Of the three of them, yeah.
Of the three of them.
There's a chance it's not even Brown, which kind of shocks me just because of how high they've been on Brown and how like it seems like Brown is seemingly the future quarterback for the Hawkeyes.
I mean, I'm hoping that's more like, good thing on Hecklinski. Like, oh, he's been playing so well in practice or whatever, but
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly where to take that. If that's a good thing, bad thing, but they've been so high on Hank Brown that I have to hope that it means it's a good thing.
Yeah,
that, like just both the QBs look good in practice.
I would say it's either he looks really good as well, or there's some sort of Hank Brown injury that is not necessarily being disclosed, or like not like a big injury, but something nagging.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a fourth string. What's his name? Who started like 3 games last year for us?
God, I don't even know.
He was the Colorado. I think he did the Colorado State transfer. Why am I blanking on his name? Yeah, Jackson Stratton.
That's right. Did he start that many games though? I
think so.
Crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Games. I just kind of assumed he transferred. I heard so little about him this year.
Okay, less than I thought, but 2 games.
Started 2 games and played a third.
Yeah,
because didn't he have that like bomb pass against UCLA, or was that
no? It was. I think it was Nebraska because he had a. Yeah, 72
Stratton
yards.
Like a backup fullback, technically, wasn't he?
I think he was literally like a third string on
like
Colorado
a scout
State.
team fullback, I want to say, or like a scout. He was a scout team linebacker. That's what it was.
Okay,
because they elevated him because everybody got hurt. He was previously before that UCLA game. He was a scout team linebacker, and then Sullivan gets hurt and he has to come in and play in the UCLA.
He had
game.
At Colorado State, so he didn't play in 2023, and in 2022 for Colorado State, he had 4 completions on 17 attempts.
All right.
And 2 of those went for interceptions.
Yeah. I very vividly remember he had one pretty good play in that UCLA game. Maybe it was a run or something. And the Iowa Barstool. He had 1 carry
for 14 yards.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that might have been it. The Iowa Barstool account, they just tweeted out like, that's my scout team linebacker.
Hey, he can always say that he beat Nebraska. He started and beat Nebraska.
That's true.
1 touchdown, 0 interceptions.
Not bad.
God, Nebraska sucks for that.
So another Maryland. Good sign on Gronowski though. Did we beat Maryland with them?
Yeah, we put up 29 points.
Maryland's not bad either. That's crazy. Yeah, but Gronowski also, he was still named a captain this week. So I mean, I think they would do that anyway. Sign. I mean, McNamara was a captain pretty much every week. He was hurt last year as well. So I'm not super. Not every week. Towards the end, I think they pulled him out, but there was, I think, other things going on at that point than just an injury. And
I think, we'll get into Wisconsin later, but like, do you think that, I'm trying to think, like, do you think because it's Wisconsin, how poorly Wisconsin's been this year, do you think if he's not feeling 100%, just go with Hank Brown? Or,
I would not be shocked at all. I think the question at that point then is if this game starts to get away with us, do they put him in?
That's true. Because then I feel like I feel like you very rarely see that where if we're not 100% sure on the QB, no matter who it's against, you either start them or he's not playing the whole game.
I agree.
So in that case, I do feel like, all right, if he can go, he's going to go.
Yeah. And I think also it might be a thing where they let him take a couple of drives, they pull him at halftime if we got a good lead, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I could definitely see that happening. I mean, we can get more into this too when we talk about the Wisconsin game, but like there's not a lot to say about it at this point. It is just kind of a wait and see kind of game. And like I said earlier, like Ferentz is pretty notorious about doing this. Like anytime we've had a quarterback injury, it's never really announced who's going to start. Even if it's like 100% certain, like, oh, he's fine, he's going to play, he'll always come out and be like, yeah, we're looking at both guys.
Yeah.
Which is, from a coaching standpoint, strategically a good move. Make him play, make him prepare for both quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it seems better. Like, I feel more hopeful now than I did last week.
Yeah.
So,
which honestly might even be why it's listed as an or, and they're saying that they're looking at all 3 guys. You got to prepare for 3 quarterbacks. You know, like just it's a little bit of play your cards.
It's Kirk being Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good strategy. No Jazzy Patterson this week again, and also Washington's out, which I didn't even know he got hurt in that game. I didn't know maybe it was an injury during the bye week or something, but
Yeah,
it's the first I've heard of this injury, but they said he is out for this game.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been getting that many.
He hasn't.
And I'm like, maybe there was like a nagging thing. Like, I don't know.
That's actually, let's check the two deep. Who's our second kick returner though now?
They just have
Sam Phillips.
Yeah, Sam Phillips, and then
Sam Phillips is the second returner. That's actually kind of shocking to me because Sam Phillips is more of like I don't know. He doesn't seem like a crafty returner kind of guy.
Yeah, no, he's smaller. He's a little shifty.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we just haven't given him the ball enough to really show it.
Yeah, that's true. And then Vanderzee, which they said at one point that he might have played against Indiana, and he did not. But they said could play versus Wisconsin. They said looks promising, which is kind of the same thing they said for Indiana. I would imagine if he was close for Indiana, he's going to play this week.
Yeah, I mean, so Kirk said we can start to work him in now. He looked fine out there today. Mm-hmm. Now he can start building a base. So pretty much we're saying I feel like that's kind of telling me that it's more of a like getting him reps and comfortable in the system more than like an actual like part, like, you know, he's not feeling 100%.
And some of the players had some comments. They asked some of the players about him too. And I think it was Sam Phillips was like, yeah, he's like, he looks good out there. Like he's making some plays, which is promising. Yeah. So yeah, he would be great just for another option at wide receiver. I know we talk about it a lot. We have like 6 guys making 3 catches a game. I don't know if we need a 7th guy bringing it down to 2 catches per person a game, but like someone's got to break out. Yeah. So I'd like to. He looked great last year on those. Like he had a few flashes of brilliance. So
yeah, I mean he's a big target to hit in the end zone too. So it's good to have him.
Yeah, a lot of our receivers are pretty small. So
yeah, like Seth Anderson's our biggest guy, and I think he's only like. Actually, I think it's literally in the 2 deep. I think has their.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, holy shit, it is.
Yeah, he's only 6 foot.
Dayton Howard's 6'5". That actually shocks me.
I did not know that. Yeah, the guy in front of him, Sam Phillips, 5'7", and then he's 6'5".
That's like almost a foot difference between them. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, our biggest. I didn't even know Jacob Gill's 6 foot. I feel like he was shorter.
I mean, 6 foot looks short on a football field too. That's the thing, though.
That's true.
It's kind of like Bohannon's out there 6'2", and he looks like the tiniest guy you've ever seen on a basketball court.
All right. Well, that was like kind of the big thing we were looking at. And,
there wasn't a lot of monumental shit coming out of the press conference today, which I mean, on a bye week going into a game against a really weak Wisconsin team, you don't expect a whole lot out of the press conference. We also had a basketball press conference.
Yeah, say no real segue, but
press conference to press conference. Yeah. We went from football and basketball. We never figured out how to say her name.
Yeah. Big women's basketball, probably the best prospect. I think it's the best prospect they've gotten since Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Which is I'm gonna try to say this right. McKenna Woliczoc?
Sounds good to me.
Woliczoc? Yeah.
5-star recruit.
Yeah, 5-star recruit, number 6 ranked player in the 2026 class. And this is back-to-back years that Iowa has gotten a 5-star top 10 recruit. This past year's Addie Deal. The big thing I saw about specifically getting, I'm just going to say McKenna, is that...
yeah, that works. I think we've had like 4 McKennas on the team in the past like 4 years, though.
Yeah. And the one thing about getting McKenna is like, I think Addie Deal, like, you know, Caitlin Clark from Iowa, and I'm pretty sure like Addie Deal, I think she plays basketball in California, but she like she has Iowa ties. I don't know what that is, but I was reading that like she has Iowa ties. Caitlin Clark had Iowa ties. This is the first big recruit for Iowa women's basketball that like no ties to Iowa. She had offers from, I think she had offers from like South Carolina, and she just chose Iowa, which I think is like a huge deal for the women's basketball team and kind of what, you know, I don't want to say just Caitlin Clark did, you know, started, but because obviously after Caitlin Clark goes, they could have easily just fallen off back to kind of what they used to, you know, where they used to be. But getting Addie Deal last year and then getting McKenna this year. And I know that, you know, she even came out already and was just like, I'm going to try to get like Iowa's still, you know, there's a few players in that top like 100 or top actually like
going after.
I think like there's like another one in the top 20 that they're going after, and she said she's going to try to recruit, which is awesome.
Yeah,
but
Addie Deal's brother plays at Grinnell with Lisa Bluter's son.
Okay, so yeah, I knew there was some type of connection there, but
and her dad also played basketball at Spring Hill, which I think is in Iowa. Mosquitoes.
Yeah,
at least they're not wasps.
So
exactly. We're back on the porch. We think the wasps are taken care of. It was also raining today, so the roof is nice and it's muddy in the backyard. So
yeah, so had to kind of just stick with it. We're in long sleeves, so if it if you try to sting us, we at least got some protection.
I should have brought the wasp spray out here. We can fight back if we have to. Okay, so then women's basketball. So they released the tip times for both men's and women's today. I think these are only the televised ones, not including the Big Ten Plus games. So the women's first game is versus Southern U November 3rd at 6:30. Their first televised game, though, is versus Drake on November 13th at 7:30. I'll link both of these graphics in the linked up as well. It's got the men's and women's tip times for all the televised games. Going over to the men's side, Bennett Stirtz is named preseason All Big Ten, which is...
That's not surprising.
Yeah, it's not super surprising. I don't know.
Was he All-American last year?
All-American? There's no way. All-American?
Oh, I guess, yeah. He was definitely never mind.
He was all Missouri Valley for sure.
Yeah.
He was the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, he was.
I'll be honest, I'm a little shocked at this. And I know preseason stuff.
You're shocked that he's preseason all Big Ten?
I am.
Really?
Because we've talked a little bit about this. Like at the end of the day, preseason stuff doesn't really mean anything. No. Like it's in 3 weeks that could either be solidified or changed drastically. You know? I just think I've said this before. I know a lot of people are very high on Iowa basketball this year, and I would love to go out there and just fucking stomp the Big Ten. And I would love if like this is the real deal and we finally got our coach. I take that back. We had our coach for a long. Like I would love if McCollum is a great coach, and I would love if he shows it this year and we really do something this year. But at the end of the day, we are playing a Big Ten schedule with a team that mostly played in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah.
And not that a lot of these guys aren't really good and our coach isn't really good, but it is just such a big talent gap jumping from the Missouri Valley to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the people who are super high on the team this season are just not taking that into account, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I do think Stirtz is going to be I think he's going to be good.
I'm not worried about.
Just the rest of the team.
No. I'm not worried about Stirtz being able to hold his own.
Because even the guys who stayed from Iowa.
Which is just, what's his name? It was just Cooper Cook, right? I think he's the only one.
Is he the only one?
The only one who played
now.
last year, I'm pretty sure, at least.
Because I'm gonna say is like, even no matter who it is, you know, the people that left, everyone was complaining about, and I'm like, did those players not just take us to like not a good year?
I mean, to be fair, I think Owen Freeman's a phenomenal basketball player. I think he's one of the best recruits Fran McCaffrey ever got, and his injury hurt that team a lot.
Yes,
he didn't play the second half of the season, and I think he does play the second half of the season. They definitely make the tournament. He plays the second half of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get anywhere in the tournament, and I also think I'm a big Brock Harding fan, honestly. He's just...
No, I did like him.
He's such a fun kid to watch, too. Just like a tiny dude who puts his nose down and just goes under people, and it's very fun. It looks like Cooper Cook's the only guy who was on the team last year. At least that. Yeah, because at least any big names on the team. Some of these like lower on the roster guys, maybe were on the team last year.
Like his brother.
His brother's a freshman. Cooper's the only one who played consistently last year. Who's still on the team, which is To be honest, if we could have kept any player, I'd want it to be Owen. Second player would have been Josh Dix. I think Cooper would have been the third though. Mm-hmm. Like he's a young player and he looks very promising. Where did
Owen go?
Creighton. Men's first game is November 4th versus Robert Morris, 7:30. The first big game, we play Xavier on the 14th at 7. And then our preseason tournament has Utah, Ole Miss, and GCU, I think. But what I'm very curious to see about is the starting lineup because we know Stirtz is going to start. I'm fairly confident Cooper is going to start. From that, I would guess Cam and maybe Tavion.
I assume.
I don't know who the fourth guy is going to be or the fifth guy is going to be.
Alvaro. This guy, he had 14 points in the Horizon League last year. 14 points per game, 9 rebounds.
Yeah, and he's
probably 6'10". He'll probably be like one of the forwards.
I couldn't tell you like the 6th, 7th, 8th guys off the bench. Like I'm very excited to see who the starting lineup. I'm very excited for the first game just to see how these guys look.
Yeah, I did not realize it was I knew they brought in a lot of guys, and they had to bring in
everybody.
Yeah,
it was most of the players from Drake and a couple of other transfers, and then retained Cooper, got his brother.
I'm guessing they're middle of the pack. Middle of the pack, Big Ten.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's what you hope for. And if Stirtz can play himself into being a first round pick, then we make the tournament. I think.
Yeah.
Stirtz put the team on his back like he did, If he can prove it in the Big Ten,
yeah,
and do it in the Big Ten, then yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if he can prove it in the Big Ten, I think he'll definitely make a team. I think if he can prove it in the Big Ten, it's gonna. And I don't mean like, oh, he can hold his own to the Big Ten. Like, if he can do what he did last year in the Big Ten, then I think the team has a lot more of a chance.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's gonna take him doing that, and it's gonna take Cooper stepping up, because I mean, at the end of the day, Cooper is the lone Big Ten recruit, like the lone guy who out of high school they were like, you are a Big Ten talent, and I think he's gonna have to step up and show that too.
Do they have any like freshmen coming in? That's like,
oh yeah, a lot of freshmen.
Well, like that weren't just like, going to go to Drake. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like, did Iowa have like, you know, I'm gonna look.
We got a lot of redshirt freshmen. I mean,
recruits.
his son, but I assume his son was just going to go to Drake. McCollum's son, Peyton McCollum. We did lose the best recruit, I think, in Iowa basketball history. That 5-star, God, I forget his name, but that McCaffrey had coming in next year. We lost him, unfortunately. Tate Sage, freshman. Trey Thompson, freshman.
Yeah, so it says Trey Thompson.
Travian Girac, freshman.
Yeah. I'm interested with the one you're talking about. Oh, this 4-star Joshua Lewis.
Maybe.
He was 67th nationally.
I think that
probably
was
him.
He was, I think, the highest recruit in Big Ten or in Iowa history.
I mean, yeah, Iowa doesn't get great recruits, so 67th nationally is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Oh, he went to Louisiana. Raging Cajuns. That's weird. He had Florida State, Iowa, Auburn, Cincinnati, and he committed to Louisiana.
Yeah, he was committed to Iowa at one point.
Yeah.
But after they, which I think part of that too, he's a forward, right?
Yeah.
Fran McCaffrey is just so good at developing big guys. Like, that's
true.
You take Garza, you take the Murrays and Owen Freeman. Like, he's gotten a lot of guys into the NFL, the NBA. Like, he's just really good at developing those forwards.
I wonder if any of these other two would just go to Penn. Oh, I mean,
I doubt it, because Penn can't. There's no NIL in Ivy League.
I forget about that. That really screws them.
Which, honestly, I think that's why McCaffrey is going to thrive there, is because like the NIL part was the one part he was really bad at. He was really good at recruiting kids out of high school, though. And I mean, I think he's going to run the Ivy League.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a great coach. I mean, you know, as far, I think we've already talked about this like week one about, you know, just Fran and how, as much as Iowa did not get past like the first round or the select round,
so much
32,
of that is momentum and luck, and
like he was a good coach at the end of the day.
And those Ivy League teams, they just dominated all season, got a lot of momentum going into the tournament. Like, that's a recipe for
Princeton
tournament.
did that.
Yeah,
like,
Princeton did it. I'll put these Tip Time graphics in the link dump. We'll talk more about basketball as it gets closer. We're about a month out now, so. And we're a month and a half away from any meaningful games. It's pretty much just exhibitions until then. So last week at one point, we talked about the games week 5, and then I was like, not a lot of big games happening week 7 or whatever. The Florida State Miami game was really the only big game happening next week. Turned into some big games because there were some big upsets. A lot happened. Notably, Penn State goes to UCLA, loses 37-42.
Probably their worst loss in
Frank school history.
Yeah, I mean, they were after last year, everyone stayed. Like,
an 0-4 UCLA team that was projected to go 0-12.
So that was like the one game I actually did watch a little bit of, and they looked good. Like their offense could not be stopped. Like, like that was like the Nico. Oh God, what's his last name? Aviala. I think that's the QB.
Oh,
like, the one that was at Tennessee. Like, that was the one that like we saw against Iowa that just destroyed us. Like I always thought he was going to be like a first round pick. And he goes to UCLA, looks awful in the first 4 games, and then goes out there against Penn State, and he looked unstoppable.
And it was truly just a team rallying around their makeshift ragtag band of interim coaches. Which notably, the offensive coordinator, did you see them get carried off the field?
Yeah.
God, it was so fucking funny because he looks like he's 12 years old.
No, they kept panning to him, and I thought he was like, I didn't know who took over.
He was like a player or something.
Yeah, I was
that they gave coaching duties to.
I thought he was the interim coach because they kept like going to him. I'm like, is this really like the guy?
No, he was just so. His name's Jerry Neuheisel. He's the son of former UCLA coach Rick Neuheisel, who was a pretty good coach. I don't know how good of a coach he was there, but he was a pretty good coach at Colorado, I think, before that, or somewhere else. So this was his kid, Jerry Neuheisel is his name. He's 33 years old. So
he looks young.
He looks younger than that, but that's still really fucking young so he was given play calling duties.
Yeah.
He's not even the offensive coordinator.
Wait, he's not the offensive coordinator?
No, he's not the offensive coordinator. He was given play calling duties on Wednesday before the game. He was told that he would be calling the plays against Penn State on Wednesday.
Wait, what is his like
his actual title? I have no idea. He most likely he will be the offensive coordinator before the game this week. Like I'm sure they will make a promotion official, or at least interim offensive coordinator.
Yeah, it just says he was promoted. Doesn't specify
where he was promoted from. Maybe just an analyst role even.
Yeah, just like literally just.
I mean, he's 33. Like
yeah,
it might have just been an analyst role. But I thought it was very funny that like. It's not even their head coach that they're celebrating after this game.
No, he's literally just the assistant head coach.
Tight ends coach. So he must have been the tight ends coach before, maybe?
Yeah. It just says it was promoted by Deshaun Foster got fired. Yeah, no, he's literally just like the assistant head coach and tight ends coach.
Interesting. But he's not the interim coach. Interim coach. No. Weird. Yeah, so they gave him play calling duties on Wednesday. And it's just really funny to me that that's the guy that they put him up on their shoulders, carried him off. They doused him in Gatorade.
I guess he's been asking for. When I was watching the game, they're like, "Hey, he's been asking to like be like the play caller for like since like before the season started." And obviously they're like, "You're an assistant. We're not giving you play calling." Like
he called a great game.
Oh yeah, no.
He called a phenomenal game. And he did like the one thing that I feel like a lot of teams like this, where they go up big against a really good team early. And then they start playing not to lose. And I think that he did a great job of not doing that.
He was just
still
like,
kept
we're
going
keep
for
going.
it. He said, we have the momentum, let's keep going for it. Dude, and that fourth down stop was awesome. At the end of the game, it was so fun.
Oh, yeah. You could see just like Penn State was just like stunned. They're like, what just happened? Like this is not an 0-14.
The 62 fans in the Rose Bowl were losing their minds. It was the most energy that has ever been in that stadium.
Like I saw so many things. They're like, this is the most depressing like big win for like a team like ever, just because there was just nobody there.
And it was probably hot as hell at like
and
2 p.m. in Pasadena.
Like they're probably
projected to go 0-12.
They did all of their fans did what I did when Iowa beat Ohio State when I went home for the weekend, because I was like, well, Iowa's not playing well this year and they're playing the number 2 team in the nation. Like, they're like number 4 or whatever. But
I think that was the most fun I've had watching a non-Iowa game since the Colorado, when Stanford beat Colorado last year, when they did the second half comeback. It was like a Thursday night game, and what's his name, Eric Iomanner, I think. He just he put up an ungodly amount of yards against Travis Hunter. He put up like 200 yards against him. God, it was so good. That was such a fun game.
Those like Colorado games were so fun to watch last year, because it's like
they just fall apart.
Yeah,
and
they're just like
all the hype,
and like, not to be like, but you kind of want them to lose.
Oh, I want them to lose.
Yeah, they had all like they were talking all that shit. I actually loved when I think it was against Oregon, when they went in and like they were favored, but like,
was it the Nebraska game, the Colorado-Nebraska game?
No, I think it was. I might be wrong, but I think it was the Oregon game, because like Oregon was projected to like beat them like a good amount, and they go in and just like kill them. But like Oregon's coach was just like, we don't, I don't know. He was just talking all this shit, and I thought it was so funny, because he was just like, no one thought you're going to lose. And like, they still, they killed them. And he was still talking shit after the game. And I'm like, that's so funny. Yeah, it's 2 years ago. I think it was, because they were 3-0 going into this game. And I'm sure Deion was probably talking his shit.
As he always does.
Yeah. And then Oregon was just like, we're the number 6 team in the nation. We're going to kill you. And then they did. No, that was it. They were undefeated, and it was his first year as coach, so everyone thinks he's gonna be like,
and nobody would stop talking about him.
Yeah,
God, that is honestly the nicest thing about them not having Shedeur this year, is I don't hear about Deion Sanders during every other football game.
Yeah, they don't have him. They don't have like Travis Hunter anymore. Like Bo Nix, almost 300 yards passing. Bucky Irving, 90 yards. Troy Franklin, just NFL players, just
kicking their ass. Penn State not ranked after this week,
which I was like kind of surprised about.
I'm not super shocked after the loss to Oregon, and then just that's a really bad loss. They are still receiving votes.
Yeah.
Third.
No matter how good UCLA looked, like they're 0-4.
Yeah.
And their coaches got fired.
And they just don't have a lot of talent on the team. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm just like looking at the top 25, and I'm like, this is why the top 25 is just so stupid. Like I know it's like quality wins, but yeah, Penn State loses their first game.
Texas also no longer ranked.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Notre Dame's still on this.
Yeah,
like Notre I know Dame they lost to 2 top 10 teams, but like still, man.
That's the thing. I think if it comes down to a 2-loss Notre Dame and a 2-loss Indiana, who do you think would get into the playoffs?
Notre Dame.
I don't think it should be that way.
No, I don't think it should be either.
There's also potential for there to be a 2-loss Michigan in there that beats Ohio State.
But I'm like, some of these teams,
I mean, that'll get sorted out.
Like how, like, gonna throw my second team under the bus here, but like Florida State should not be ranked.
I agree. Yeah.
Like Penn State and Texas aren't ranked.
I agree.
Like they've lost twice. One of them was to a unranked Virginia team who are now only ranked because they beat them. And so they started the year, they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
But that's like week 1 wins. I have a hard time like taking also that. True. You have to take it with a grain of salt. Like,
and then obviously they lost to Miami kind of badly.
Yeah, and it was a close game at the end, but they lost badly.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think that Florida State has proven enough to be a top 25 team over like Penn State or Texas.
I would agree. Yeah, Indiana's up to 7, and then obviously they play Oregon this week, right? Yeah, so that'll be a
big game. I think my pick for national championship, I think, is Miami.
Yeah, they look good.
I don't know if Miami's losing.
I think I'm more excited about those like bubble teams than I am about like because it could come down. So like if it comes down, here's what I think should happen. I think that they should move rivalry week up 1 week, and they should make week 12 a conference flex game. Because like if at the end of the season you have a 10-2 Michigan and a 10-2 Indiana, they don't play each other this year. Like, how do you settle that? We should have a flex game, you know?
Yeah,
we should just flex them. They play against each other. You can make them neutral site games even if you want to. Yeah. Like, I think that could be very fun. And then, like, you could also have, like, UCLA versus Northwestern. They did play this year already, so you probably wouldn't do that. But, like, you could have, like, the battle of the worst down at the bottom. Like, you could have a lot of really fun games that week.
That's a great idea. You should be making more of the decisions over there.
Office isn't too far. Maybe I'll go knock on the door.
Exactly.
I'll leave my 37 theses or whatever it was on the front door of the Big Ten Commissioner's office.
I'm so down for that. Just go to him like every day. Like, I just want to talk. Just give me a minute. Just give me a chance.
When are your office hours? ISU also moved down in the rankings to 22 after losing to Cincinnati. And it's also crazy. Cincinnati not ranked. They are the first team receiving votes with 129. But I believe Cincinnati only has 1 loss, right?
Yeah.
And so both Iowa State and Cincinnati have 1 loss. Cincinnati beat Iowa State, and Iowa State is still ahead of Cincinnati, which is crazy.
Yeah, and they like beat them like I know it's 38-30, but like they were like winning.
Crushing them
in
the first half. Yeah.
And like
and then Cincinnati played not to lose. They did the opposite of what UCLA did. And But if it wasn't for that, they had like that 70-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for that, I think they would have lost that game.
Like not first half, they were dominating.
They were just getting their asses kicked. Yeah. Other news this week: UNC is no longer doing their in-season documentary. I saw somebody just quote tweeted it, and they're like, "Wow, did something happen?" Obviously a lot of drama there. And then also this week, I think it was their cornerbacks coach got suspended for an NCAA recruiting violation. Oh my God. He was like, he gave some people sideline passes he shouldn't have or something. Yeah. It's a shit show over there, and it's very funny.
Yeah, I bet he has, but Belichick has his girlfriend, like, running plays or some shit. Just like
she's special teams coordinator.
Yeah. He's like, she's probably like talking to his ear, like, oh, I don't feel like you should be doing this. So like this player was kind of mean to me.
I saw a tweet today. I think it was under the announcement of the documentary cancel, where someone was like, yeah, Belichick's got to he's got to get into gear over there at UNC instead of trying to relive his teenage years. Not to say that when I'm his age, I don't hope I'm doing the same thing, but he's like, look, where Belichick is exactly where I want to be, but also he needs to get it together.
Yeah. He's got 20, what is it, 25, 24-year-old?
I don't know how old she is.
I think she's like 24.
Yeah, I think she's 25 or younger. I know. Yeah. She was in her first half of her 20s.
God, that's just that whole thing's crazy.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's elder abuse. But I think they both know what they're getting
Oh,
out
yeah.
of this.
I
And
think
they're
both.
both okay with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because I think if it was truly an issue, like the family would step in at a certain point.
Yeah, especially
Belichick
his
is
assets
still
and
all
stuff.
there.
Oh yeah,
Like he's not like a
he
senile
is still
man.
like
by
they're not doing well, but he's still running a football program.
Yes.
like
Like
he's going out there and like not doing it well, but like
Yeah.
he's still like with it enough to be able to like call like do
Yeah.
like run a football team. Like
Yes.
that's not an easy thing to do.
like for something to actually be elder abuse, you have to be taking advantage of like a truly regressed mental state. And I
Yeah.
don't think Belichick has that. Like he's very aware of the decisions he is making,
Yeah.
and I think he is very okay with the consequences that they have.
What do you think is like? What do you think is like ex-wife? Like does he have an ex-wife? I'm assuming like,
I
he's got
s-
kids, right?
Yeah, I assume so. He has kids, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how she thinks. Like
One of his
fucking-
kids coaches for him.
Oh,
He's one of the coaches.
Like that'd just be weird. Like that's my husband. He's now fucking a 24-year-old.
I mean, I'm sure that she's younger than some of his kids.
yeah.
She's probably younger than the kid is on
Yeah,
staff.
that's
Let's
gotta-
let's find his,
Oh, that's got to be even
his
more
son on
weird.
staff. How old is he?
This says he's 38. One of
Which
Bill
one,
Belichick.
Stefan?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's Steven is the older one, and he's 38, which is over a decade older than
got
his
a
girlfriend.
daughter.
No matter how old Brian is, the oldest son is a decade older. There's also people also search for Amanda Belichick. Is that his daughter?
Yeah, Bill Belichick's daughter. She is.
She's she's the head coach at Holy Cross of the lacrosse program.
Yeah.
People also search.
She's
Andy
41.
Reid. People also search for after searching Belichick's son. They search for Andy Reid, Jerry Jones, Stephen Belichick, and Amanda Belichick.
Yeah, and she's 41, so she's even older.
So his girlfriend's half the age of his daughter.
Yeah, I like how it does spouse Debbie.
Debbie Clare.
I'm sorry about this, Debbie. This must suck. Unless he
I'm
was,
sure she's doing okay.
Yeah, divorced in 2006.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. And I think I think her life is okay.
During their separation, Belichick was linked to Sharon Shinoka, a former receptionist for the Giants.
It's like a presidential
Belichick,
scandal.
you dog. Gotta stop it, man.
It's just
Oh
a
my
photo
God.
of them making out. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Wait. Can you put that link in the document? I want to put
Yeah.
that in the link dump.
Days of their lives. Why is this like the?
Wait, is that not Bill Belichick? Is that someone else?
No, it says.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was just in like 2000. Oh, yeah, it's
Okay.
from 2008.
Yeah. That's the second hit on Google. That's crazy. Yeah, other news I wrote down in here came out today. So Joe Flacco traded to the Bengals alongside a 6th-round pick for a 5th-round pick, which is wild. That just seems like the worst choice they could have made.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't go after Kirk Cousins. That's my thought.
Maybe they probably called them and it was like too much or something. Like.
I mean, unless it's a cap issue, I think you pay Kirk Cousins what he's worth because
Yes.
Burrow will be back
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
And so if you can just keep the team in playoff contention, like you will have Burrow for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think Kirk Cousins, the Bengals O-line's not great. Like which is the reason I think Flacco is going to get demolished back
Yeah.
there. Speaking of elder abuse, I saw a bunch of tweets talking about how this is elder abuse against Flacco. Cousins not super mobile either, but he's a pretty quick passer, and I feel like
Yeah.
he would just eat with T. Higgins and
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. I feel like
That's what I was saying.
like
man.
look at what he did with Jefferson for those however many years he was there.
Yeah.
That's he can just do that again with Chase.
And
I
he's
don't know
just
why you
sitting
wouldn't
behind-
go for Cousins.
And I also don't get he's sitting there at 37 years old being like, oh, like, I got this huge contract. I guess I can chill here. But I don't get the Falcons' decision. Like why not recoup something?
Yeah.
Like
no, I
that
agree.
whole
I agree
thing
completely.
made no sense. You
I-
signed a
100%.
4-year big contract. You then get a guy in the top. What is it? I think he was drafted top 10. Get a QB in the top 10 of the draft right after signing a 4-year contract, and then after half the season bench him because your new QB needs to play.
And he was doing okay. You know?
Oh yeah, that was another one. Jameis.
Yeah.
Jameis would have also been just sling it to Jamar or T.
Yeah.
Higgins,
I think
man.
Jameis Winston would have been a fine choice.
That at least made it fun.
Because what was Jameis not on the Browns at the beginning of the year also?
I don't know. I think he was on the Giants.
He's on the Giants currently, yeah.
Okay, but he's like the 3rd string on the Giants.
Yes. And I think he would have been a good option as well.
No, my one of my coworkers is a big Bengals fan, and he just was just mad today. He was just after that news came out, he was just like, I'm actually I hate this. I don't want him.
I think
This is
there's
the
a
worst
chance
option.
it's okay because Flacco is a good passer.
Well, they also just hate him.
Yeah.
He's like
That's really fair.
He's like I just hate him. Like after all those years. Like
someone said that he needs to go to the Steelers next year and complete the division.
Yeah. No, he literally was like, yeah, like obviously it would be worse.
He'd be the Ryan Fitzpatrick of
yeah, no, exactly.
Of that division.
No, he was like, it would be worse for the Bears fan if this happened. But he's like, pretty much just imagine if like the Bears just signed or like traded for Aaron Rodgers. He's like, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it was like the Vikings got Favre, and I think a lot of fans were pretty hesitant about that. They didn't love it.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, it's Shedeur Sanders season though.
Yeah,
it's Dylan Gabriel's
season.
But to Shedeur, it's Shedeur Sanders season.
The Browns quarterback room is now Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and Bailey Zappi's on their practice squad. Preseason, there were 4 in the quarterback room with Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Flacco, and Kenny Pickett. And so those two both gone now. And so who played last week for the Browns? Was it Gabriel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said he looked like decent. I don't know. I've got Sanders on my. I got him in Dynasty, so I'm hoping that he.
I was gonna be like, why are you holding him? But then if it's
Dynasty, I'm like, I'm just waiting.
He's just like in a taxi slot.
Just waiting. Yeah, he's on my taxi squad. I'm just waiting for him to.
You think he'll be good though?
I mean, I'm hoping. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Biggest draft slide in history.
Oh, I know. I mean, he's supposed to go first round. He drops to the 5th to a team that already drafted Dylan Gabriel in front of him.
That already drafted the quarterback, like right in front of him too. That was the best part. Is they could have done it the other direction and they didn't. Just
well, that was the thing.
Honestly,
is
it felt like almost an ego check to him. They're like, we're gonna draft you in this order, and this is a sign that you need to get yourself in line if you want to.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because I think that was a lot of teams' problem with them.
Yeah, I do. I think the 5th round is as most as he was going to drop.
Yeah,
but I know he literally told teams no.
Yeah,
like he told the Ravens no because did we talk about
he didn't
this
want to sit.
week?
I don't think they talked about it on the broadcast. I think for one of the games, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this.
Maybe.
So I was like, I feel like I was not bitching, but like just ranting about it because like he was like, oh, like he said no to the Ravens, which I get because he's like, I don't want to sit behind an MVP.
Yeah,
like I get
it. Who's gonna play for a while too? Like Lamar's not gonna be like done in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like like the Browns situation is very up in the air with now. Yeah, your starters, Dylan Gabriel. You have remember Deshaun Watson still getting paid a shit ton of money until next year.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So he'll be back eventually.
And then I also put in here that the game last night, Trevor Lawrence falling in the end zone was that was such a funny play.
Was that on the game winning one?
It was the game winning touchdown. Yeah.
Well, what was it? Chris Jones just like
just stood there.
Yeah, everyone was like shitting on Chris Jones, and I was just like, to be honest, like
watched it happen.
I know he's he's a good player, and I'm sure he's quick for his size. Because I mean,
another guy who talks a lot of shit though, and he hasn't been backing it up this year. There was also that when he was screaming at Hurts at the end of the game, where he's like, "You don't even have 100 passing yards," and Hurts was like, "We won the fucking game."
Yeah, not about stats, man. And I mean, I did look bad, but I was like, to be honest, if I was him and I'm like 10 yards away from the QB who's running into the end zone, like I'm not catching you. Like,
it was such a cool, it was such a funny play.
Yeah,
it was very fun. That game though, I put it on here because I wanted to talk about my fantasy matchup. I was playing it's in our family fantasy league. I was playing my grandpa. He had Mahomes and Xavier Worthy. I had BTJ, Etienne, and Tyler Loop, I think, the kicker. Tyler Loop's the Ravens kicker. Yeah. Whoever the kicker is for the Jags. I had those. Cam Little. Okay. So I had the 3 of them, and he had Mahomes and Worthy. And going into like the 4th quarter, it was like a half a point difference going into that game. And so, because like Mahomes just had a crazy game and just like caught him up. And like they're going down the field, and like my grandpa took the lead in that like second to last drive that the Chiefs had. And then the Jags get the ball back, and then that BTJ pass, the like 30-yard pass or whatever, I took the lead again. And I was like, okay, thank God.
Forth.
Yeah. And then I thought I was like, okay, like I would like the Jags to win this game, but also if they don't and the clock runs out, at least I win fantasy, And he gets done at the end zone, and I'm like, this is actually okay, because they'll probably hand it off to Etienne, he'll get 6, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And then like they go, it looks like they're about to hand it off to Etienne, and Lawrence hits the ground, and I'm like, no, and he gets up and he runs into the end zone, and I'm like, that is the worst thing that could happen to me fantasy-wise, because you're giving Mahomes 40 seconds, and my grandpa needs like 2 points.
You're like, oh no.
And I ended up winning by like, I think half of a point.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, were you sweating when he was throwing the ball up? Because obviously it wasn't going to get it to the end zone, but like even if he just caught it and went down at like the 20, that's still like
no. I'm very glad.
4 points right there.
I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do on that, like the hook and ladder play at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad that whatever it was didn't work, because I guess I don't know how that works. Like if you lateral it off and it ends up being at 80 yards.
I wonder if it's like the first person they pass.
I think so.
Like,
and then
it's
after
like
that, it's rushing would be my guess. Yeah. But I was very nervous that there was going to be like a fluke Hail Mary that like doesn't even win him the game, but just loses me fantasy, you know?
Yeah, no, I had fantasy writing on that too. I was up by 4 points and I was playing. I had Brendan Strange, the tight end for Jacksonville, and the guy I was playing had Worthy.
Yeah.
And just, of course, just typical, like, need someone to step up. It was my backup tight end because my starting tight end was out for the week. Gets injured after the first quarter. And then I'm like, oh, great. He like literally, I think it was like the second play of the game or something, the second offensive play or something. He catches like a 30-yard pass. I'm like, oh, bet. Like, you know, he's looking good. And then just,
It was probably close though, because Worthy didn't have a great game.
I think he won by like 4 or something. Okay. So it was close, but I knew, I was like, all right. Like, because I think I like rechecked it and it just showed he was out. And I think Worthy already took the lead.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course.
We had another really fun matchup from that game too, because we have like my friends from high school and I have a group chat league where it's just 4 of us in it, but we all start double the amount of players. Okay. So you start like 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 4 receivers, 4 flex, 2 kickers, 2 defense. So you essentially are starting 2 teams every week, and it's very fun because it's just like trying to wrap your head around it each week is a nightmare. Because of that, the games are very rarely close by like the end of the week, you know? And they were tied. They were like a half a point off going into that game, and one had Worthy and one had BTJ. And so like we were texting about it all night. And then I think obviously BTJ guy won. But it was the first time I've had like a Monday Night Football game decide a lot of fantasy games in a long time.
Really? I feel like I'm always coming down to the last game, and I always feel like I lose.
My teams aren't great this year, so I'm usually not that close.
I have one really good team and one bad. On paper, it looks good. I was like texting a buddy last night about it, who was the one I was playing. Yeah. And like I was literally just like look at my team. Am I like crazy for thinking like I'm 1-4 now? Yeah. And I'm like, am I crazy to think this is a good team? He's like, no, I actually like your team. Yeah. I just don't know what it is.
That just happens sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. But my other team in my other league's really good. So I'm like, all right, I take, win some, you lose some.
Well, okay. Other week 7 matchups we talked about in Indiana, Oregon, Alabama, Missouri, and then Ohio State, Illinois. I think could be a fun game. This is really where we're going to see how good Indiana is and how good Illinois is. Because if Ohio State goes out there and stomps Illinois also, I guess it doesn't answer a ton of questions. Yeah. If Illinois keeps it close, then that gives us some information on Indiana.
And even gives us some information on Ohio State, because I feel like they haven't really played anybody,
That's true. Right? That's true. Yeah, Minnesota took the lead there for a minute.
Oh, I forgot. They played Texas in the first week, but I guess Texas isn't ranked anymore.
Yeah. Texas also plays Oklahoma this week, which could be a big matchup. Yeah. Oklahoma's pretty good.
So, pretty much they've played Texas, who's not even ranked anymore, Grambling State, Ohio, Washington, and Minnesota. So they haven't really played anyone.
And Washington looks okay, too.
Yeah. They only beat them 24-6. So, their defense is elite like we knew, but their offense, I think, does have. They put up 42 points against Minnesota. Yeah. But for a number 1 ranked team, I think their offense does still have a little bit to prove.
Yeah. And this will be a good game to see it. Yeah. So we talked about the 2 deep mostly, the changes there, mostly just injury changes. Yeah. So Wisconsin this week at Camp Randall.
Another night game.
I don't know why I wrote at Kinnick on here. Oh, you know why? Because I was going to put the Penn State game also announced 6 p.m. at Kinnick. Okay. Night game for that.
Damn, I feel like we've only had like night games this year.
But fun fact about that, Iowa 3-0 at night, 0-2 not at night. So maybe this is a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take that. Yeah, Iowa minus 3.5.
Yeah, minus 3.5 at minus 110, over under 35.5, which feels low.
I feel like that. I wonder if that changes if Gronowski's in the game.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't look at what the odds were on that 35.5, but I almost want to take the over on that.
I do too.
Like it seems low. I think even with Brown in there, I guess bringing us into another point we have about Wisconsin, I feel like our rushing game could do okay, but What was that stat you had in here? Where is it?
You want to talk about like their Wisconsin's rushing?
Yeah, their rush defense.
So before the Michigan game, so Wisconsin just lost to Michigan 24-10. Before that game, Wisconsin actually had, for as bad as they've played this year, they had the number 1 ranked rush defense. They were only allowing 50 yards per game,
which is wild,
which is crazy because they went into that
for
game,
how badly they've gotten shit on, and playing Alabama too.
Yeah, that's the thing is I looked at the Alabama game. Yeah, like Alabama kind of was just throwing around them. Like they only had like 3 yards per carry or something.
I wonder if that's part of it. Your secondary is so bad that it makes your line look like super elite. That'll get drafted just because nobody's trying to run because they can just throw all around you.
So like after that, so against Michigan, they did give up 175 rushing yards. So they're still top 6, which actually you want to know number 4 is?
Is it Iowa?
It's Iowa. So yeah,
I was like, that felt like a trick question for a second.
Yeah. So Michigan did have average 5 yards per carry against them, and Justice Haynes did go 19 carries for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I mean, Alabama is obviously going to be good, but I feel like Michigan was their first like real rushing test. Because I feel like Alabama's they haven't I could be wrong about this, but just watching them against like Florida State in the first game, and then that game, their rushing attack doesn't seem great.
Wisconsin, obviously, we said earlier, not a good team this year. 2-3 overall, 0-2 in the conference. They started off 2-0 against their nobodies, and they
didn't even beat those nobodies by a lot.
Here, I have the schedule up. 17-0 against Miami of Ohio, and then 42-10 Middle Tennessee. That's better. But then obviously lost to Alabama 38-14, and
which
then
not even
3 games skid from there.
Yeah.
27.
And the thing is, they all 3 of those games against Alabama, like I'm pretty sure that was like close at half. Yeah, it was. Never mind. It was 21-0 at half.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the touchdowns they had were kind of garbage time touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about maybe a different game. But like Maryland, I don't know. Is Maryland supposed to be decent this year, right?
Yeah, they look decent.
Yeah,
they're 4-0.
I mean, pretty much the Maryland and the Michigan.
It's October now,
game,
though, so we'll see if they fall apart again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Maryland and Michigan games are both like, close score, or like similar scores where they lost 27-10 and then 24-10.
Mm-hmm.
So like, not like these huge blowouts, but like, I watched some of the game and like, they just didn't seem like they were in either of them. Like really like their offense, they have 2 different quarterbacks they've gone with this year. It does look like the one that played last week, Hunter Simmons, who's the senior of the 2. The other one's, I think, a sophomore.
Okay.
He's the top of their QB depth chart, so he will most likely be playing against Iowa.
I also put in here that everyone's fucking tweeting about the last year, the whole 42 push-ups debacle. That like they lost Iowa by 42, so they had to do 42 push-ups after every game. And like one of the players said, when have you ever heard Iowa scoring 42 points ever? And I think we averaged like 47 that year a game or something.
Yeah.
Or like our average was like in the 40s last year. It's just it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing about it. What a dumb thing to tweet about.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like everyone talks about like bulletin board material. That's not bulletin board material.
Yeah, no.
That's so stupid. I saw someone on Twitter was like, that should be like our snap count should just be like either black 42, gold 42 every time. Like just rub it in their face.
We should. I mean, I do hope we kill them.
I hope so. Do you think if we just demolish them, Fickle gets fired?
Yes. I think if Iowa like
this is the last straw.
Yeah, I guess getting into like what we think the score is, I think the only way they kill them is if Gronowski's playing. I do think no matter who's at QB, we will win the game.
Yeah,
but
my God, I hope so.
But like, I think our defense is like, I don't think they're going to score more than 20 points.
I mean,
I have to believe that our offense can score more than 20 points.
After us, they have Ohio State. And then they have immediately after that Oregon. So that's, I mean, pretty safe to assume you can write those as 2 losses. Now, we would have said easily Penn State, UCLA was a loss. So like anything can happen. But Ohio State, Oregon, and then Washington, who we just said looked pretty good. And then Indiana, and then Illinois. So their schedule is kind of fucking brutal. There's a good chance they don't win a game until the Minnesota game.
Yeah, that's it. We have to beat them.
Yeah, we have to beat them.
I mean, their offense is not good.
There is a good chance that they're 2-8, 2-9 going into that Minnesota game during rivalry week.
I think this is Fickle's last year. Like,
it's definitely his last year. Unless they somehow turn this around and beat Ohio State and Oregon, he's done. It's just a matter of, is he done after this week or is he done later.
I don't think this game will make or break anything.
The thing is, though, I just feel like I don't think if it's like a close loss, he's done. But I feel like if he just gets blown out, you almost just have to write off Ohio State, Oregon, and just get rid of your coach and say we're going to get demolished those games anyway and start your.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, I don't even know who's who's out there for them to get. But so I'm looking
bringing
at
that kid from UCLA.
Yeah,
you can beat Penn State. That's all that matters.
I mean, it looks like on paper, if we can just get the rushing going against them, we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. I think we should. We should win this game. Not I think we should. We should win this game. I would say 3.5 feels like a low line. I could have seen it at like 6.5. I don't necessarily think we blow them out, especially if we don't.
I think it's going to be similar to these games. I think they don't get I think our defense is going to do very well against them. I do think they will have a few big plays with. I think they do have like one of those wide receivers that's catching everything.
I could see this being like a 24-6, 24-12.
Yeah, like Vinny Anthony had 9 receptions against Michigan, and he's had 4 receptions, 3 receptions. Like I think he averages a lot of yards. So.
Yeah. I was looking for like Gronowski rushing yards, stuff like that, touchdown score odds. Realized that after I looked for them for a few minutes that we don't even know if he's going to play. They're not offering those, obviously. But there weren't really any player odds for this game, which they don't usually for some of the smaller college games. But the one like game special bet that had the best odds was plus 650 Wisconsin to not score a touchdown, and I was like, I might take that because I could totally see them just getting a couple of field goals and us winning like 24-12, something like that.
Yeah, I mean they've played 3 different QBs this year, and
that's an easy one to root for.
Yeah.
I don't have to root for us to pass to a specific guy. I just have to root for defense to do good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
think this is going to be a typical Iowa defensive win. They're going to shut down. We'll get a few field goals, get a touchdown or 2. Yeah. I think it's going to be similar to Wisconsin's last few games. I think they win like 24-10.
And if our defense can play the way they did against Indiana, I'd feel good about it.
Yeah.
Like Wisconsin, obviously a lesser team than Indiana this year. So like if they can play as well as they did in that game, and it's a little different at that game. You're not as hyped up going into this game. You're not at home, but yeah. I mean, if they can play close to what they did in Indiana, I think we'll be okay.
Is Wisconsin? Is it their homecoming game?
Seems like a dumb game to make your homecoming, Iowa, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can't imagine unless it's that. I can't imagine anyone.
It could have been Maryland.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone goes to that game for them. That's the thing. God. Is it is away, but I'm like I feel like they're like I know like a lot of Wisconsin fans, they're all pissed. Like they don't care about this season. They're like Fickle needs to go. Like I feel like just because Iowa Wisconsin is a bit of a rivalry, there will be a little more. But yeah, it is October 11th versus Iowa. Homecoming. Okay, so maybe they will have. I mean, I guess maybe we'll smart. They're like, okay, well, we need people to come to the game. Yeah, maybe it'll be a little bit more, jumping. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, Iowa will win, and I think they'll win through their defense. Depending on how much they win, I think comes down to who is that quarterback. Yeah. I was thinking about going up for it, but I was too. A few of my friends were like, "Oh, we should go to the game," but I have to work Saturday, so hopefully I can watch the game enough to be able to talk about it because I will be in the middle of working the Blackhawks game. Notes. Yeah, it's also just it's not a great game. Wisconsin's not good, and also we now don't know if we even have our quarterback going into it. It doesn't sound like I don't want to be like, they're so bad. I know we've already said that, but yeah, I'm now worried I'm jinxing it. No, I'm not saying that it's not a fun game to go to because we're gonna blow them out. I just think wouldn't be a fun game to go to because it's not gonna be entertaining football. No, it won't be. it's gonna be an old fashioned Big Ten West showdown. You know? After Wisconsin, we got Penn State the following weekend, obviously. I don't even want to think about that until we get there. Yeah, we'll get into that after. Let's see this first, and let's see how Penn State does this week. Yeah, because after the UCLA thing, that's a whole. They actually think they're on bye this week. That would make sense. Northwestern. Oh, so maybe Northwestern is going to get their shit kicked in as a bit of a game. Penn State's going to come in. I think I'm taking whatever the over under is in that game. I'm taking the over. Penn State's putting up 60 points against Northwestern, and Penn State with the points. 48 over under 40.5. What's the line? Minus 21.5. I still might take Penn State on that. Penn State's going to come out pissed. Yeah. Either that or they're going to kind of come out completely demoralized and it's going to be another close game, which would be very funny. And then Northwestern, we get our shit kicked. I didn't even realize Northwestern has a winning record. I mean, I guess, yeah, they beat UCLA. The thing is, they did not.
They haven't played anyone.
No, they haven't. They lost to Oregon only by 20, which I think is a very great step for them.
That's true. I also will say it looked like Oregon got a little bored in that game.
Yeah.
They kind of were just going through the motions and finishing the football game.
Yeah.
Lost to Oregon, beat UCLA, who, as we talked about, sucks. But maybe they don't. Or maybe Penn State's that bad. That's just one of those such a fluke games. Like, you still know Penn State's good and UCLA is not. It's just It was just such a fluke.
And like that just might be like the type of thing where like UCLA like turns it around a little bit. They have a decent year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Check us out on our socials, like I said, at Hawks Off Melrose, and then website. I'm going to say it again, because I haven't been saying it. Fishballsports.com/Hawks Off Melrose. You'll find all of our stuff there. So find the link dump there. Yeah, I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremy.
Yeah, our links will be up there too. We'll see you next week.
Peace.